Dog missing for 9 years, reunited with owner in Las Vegas. A heartwarming reunion occurred in Las Vegas after a Good Samaritan found a dog missing for 9 years. Gizmo, a Chihuahua mix who escaped from a backyard in the southwest valley of Las Vegas as a young pup, was recently discovered and identified through his microchip. The dog's owner, Judith Menares, received an unexpected email informing her of the discovery. Menares immediately contacted the Animal Emergency Center of Las Vegas in Henderson, where veterinary staff confirmed the identity of her pet. The saga began when Gizmo and her 2 other dogs managed to slip away from Menares' backyard. A neighbor helped gather the other 2 and said she saw someone pick Gizmo up. Despite extensive searches and efforts to locate him, including starting a Facebook group to help find him, years passed without any sign of the missing canine. However, a breakthrough occurred last week when an emergency veterinarian scanned the dog's microchip, revealing crucial information that led to his long-awaited reunion with Menares. "They told me a lady, a Good Samaritan. It was a woman who dropped him off," Menares said. The woman said they spent 2 months trying to catch him. She wanted him back afterward, but then they told her she couldn't have him because he had a microchip, he was scanned, and we were looking for him. So, it was kind of interesting. Something I thought would have happened years ago. Now, 11 years old, the resilient Gizmo is slowly recovering under the care of his owner, who said the dog had several health issues. Menares started a GoFundMe to help pay Gizmo's vet bills. An Indiana woman is thrilled to be reunited with her emotional support dog after he had been missing for 2 years. Samantha Powers says a friend was supposed to be watching her dog, Loki, while she was away about 2 years ago, and he got out. She never thought she would see him again, WPTA reports. "I kind of lost hope after a while," she said. Then, last Friday, Samantha Powers got a call from Fort Wayne Animal Care and Control telling her they had Loki. "She lost it," said Barbara Powers, Samantha's mother, of when her daughter got the phone call. Samantha Powers says Loki was found on Warsaw Street, and wherever he had been for the last 2 years, he was well taken care of. She and her mother both say they wish whoever had the dog had scanned his microchip, but this incident shows how important microchipping animals can be. "The microchip was a lifesaver," Samantha Powers said. "Without that, I wouldn't have gotten my boy back. I think everybody and anybody that has any kind of animal, whether it's indoors or outdoors, no matter what it is, microchip your puppies, your cats, your rats, your birds," Barbara Powers said. "Loki is adjusting to being back at home," his owner says, but he's glad to be there. Barbara Powers says you can tell how happy he is by the 4-foot leap he does to be in her daughter's arms. Getting choked up, the mother says she's also glad to see how happy Samantha Powers was to bring Loki home. "It was hard to see her struggle when her dog went missing," she said. "My baby got her animal back," Barbara Powers said. "Animals aren't just animals, they're part of your family." The luck of the chip. Heartwarming tales of pets reunited with their owners. As we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, a time when tales of luck and magic abound, let's turn our attention to some truly miraculous stories of pets reunited with their owners, thanks to the power of microchips. From the rolling hills of Ireland to the bustling streets of cities, these heartwarming reunions serve as a reminder that sometimes the luck of the Irish shines brightest when our furry friends need it most. Join us as we share some pawsome tales of pets who found their way home against all odds. The tale of Ozzy the cat. Ozzy, a brown tabby cat from California, disappeared during a 2017 wildfire that prompted an urgent need to repeatedly evacuate from place to place. Unfortunately, at one of these interim places of refuge, Ozzy decided to hide, and despite an extensive search, he couldn't be found. His family had to leave him behind, hoping that he was hiding somewhere in the house, and they would find him safe when they returned. Heartbreakingly, this did not happen. Ozzy's owner searched for him repeatedly, but after many months, knowing Ozzy wasn't a great hunter and had few teeth, his owner began to lose hope that he would be found. However, 6 years later, Ozzy was found alive and well in a neighboring town. A microchip implanted in Ozzy helped identify him, leading to a joyous reunion. The saga of Jacob the dog. Jacob, a playful pup with a mischievous twinkle in his eye, wandered away from his yard one sunny afternoon, leaving his owners frantic with worry. Despite their best efforts to search for him far and wide, days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months, with no sign of Jacob. The family feared he had been stolen from their yard. Then, 2 weeks later, a call came in from a vet clinic. Jacob had been brought in by a good Samaritan who found him wandering the streets, thin and hungry, but alive. Thanks to his microchip, which had been implanted years earlier, Jacob was identified and reunited with his tearful family, who couldn't believe their luck. As we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, let's raise a toast to the lucky reunions made possible by microchips. From Ozzy the cat to Jacob the dog, these heartwarming stories remind us that sometimes the greatest treasures are found in the love and loyalty of our furry friends. So here's to the power of microchips, and to the countless pets who find their way home against all odds. Dog missing for 4 years, found 500 miles away in a different state. A beloved dog that went missing in Colorado in 2020 was recently found on the streets of New Mexico, some 500 miles away. Patches the pup and her owner, Benjamin Baxter, were reconnected over the weekend in a heartfelt reunion 4 years after she went missing from a friend's home, local news station KRQE reported. The pooch was staying at Baxter's friend's home in Callahan, Colorado, after he relocated to Nebraska for work and moved into a home that didn't permit residents to have pets. Baxter was looking for a new place where he could bring Patches home, but the free-willed canine disappeared before he could bring her to Nebraska, according to the outlet. She's kind of been a Houdini her whole life, and we adventured all over the country together. So for her to, run away, chasing butterflies or rabbits like it wasn't uncommon, but she always came home, Baxter told the station. But this time was different. By day 7, I was like, "There's just no way. I'm never going to find this dog again," Baxter said. It may have taken a bit longer than expected, but Baxter finally got the call that his dog was found. His wife called to let him know that Patches was at the Animal Services Center of the Mesilla Valley in Las Cruces, New Mexico. She had been found living as a stray on the streets of the city of Anthony by local animal control and brought to the shelter. The shelter checked for a microchip and found Baxter's info. "I'm looking through these pictures. I'm like, this is my dog," he said. "I haven't seen this dog. I have thought this dog has been probably dead for the last 4 years. And just seeing her was, mind-boggling. I cannot explain to you how crazy that was." Patches, who is now 10 years old, made the long journey from New Mexico to Nebraska with the help of friends like the one in Colorado who was caring for the pup when she went missing. She finally made it back to her owner, 4 years and many miles later, on Sunday. "I'm not a big crier, but I definitely was getting some teary eyes just seeing my dog back in front of me again," Baxter told KRQE. A heartwarming tale unfolded in California when a woman's dog, Max, defied the odds of adoption. 2 years ago, the woman adopted Max from a shelter, forming an unbreakable bond. However, circumstances led her to reluctantly put him up for adoption once more. Believing she had made the most humane decision, the woman was shocked to discover that Max had resurfaced in her life. A local animal rescue organization, entrusted with finding Max a new home, inadvertently reunited him with his original owner. The power of social media played a pivotal role in this unexpected reunion. Upon learning of Max's availability for adoption, the woman rushed to the rescue organization, where an emotional reunion took place. Max's unmistakable recognition of his owner brought tears of joy to both parties. The woman expressed her disbelief at the miraculous turn of events, realizing that Max was more than just a pet. He was family. Reflecting on the ordeal, the woman emphasized the significance of responsible pet ownership. She acknowledged that giving up a pet should never be taken lightly, as animals form deep emotional connections with their owners. The incident shed light on the importance of microchipping pets and maintaining accurate records to prevent such mix-ups in the future. The rescue organization issued a formal apology for the confusion and vowed to investigate the lapse in protocol. They assured the woman that steps would be taken to prevent similar incidents from occurring. This incident serves as a poignant reminder of the enduring bond between humans and animals. The woman's experience underscores the lifelong commitment involved in pet ownership. Pets rely on their owners for love, care, and security, making abandonment a detrimental act. It is imperative to explore all avenues before considering giving up a pet, including seeking assistance from trusted individuals or professional pet caregivers. In conclusion, the reunion of the woman and Max epitomizes the unwavering love and loyalty shared between humans and their animal companions. Their story serves as a beacon of hope, emphasizing the need for compassion, responsibility, and meticulous record-keeping in animal welfare organizations. Missing dogs found with their appearances changed. In New Haven, Connecticut, dogs across the state have been found with their appearances altered according to CT Doggone Recovery Volunteer Network. The organization described some of the dogs they found with their hair cut or even dyed different colors. A New Haven tiny dog had escaped out of an open door on Chapel Street. His flyer was circulated, and people who could possibly spot him were asked to be cautious because he was quite skittish. Marcus is only one case where the dog's appearance had been changed. His fur had been dyed purple. Why? No one can be sure why it's being done, but the organization believes it's happening to make the dogs unrecognizable. In another case, a French bulldog had been disguised with his face appearing to have been dyed very dark. Are the dogs being sold to out-of-town or out-of-state buyers? Are the dogs being used in dogfighting situations? The answers are still unclear, but all dog owners are being warned to be especially careful when letting their dogs out without leashes or under eye-to-eye supervision. Make sure your pet is microchipped, and if you see something that doesn't look right, report it to the police. MRT journalists reunite lost dog with family thanks to new technology. 2 reporters found a dog, and Bingo was his name-o. The mission of a journalist is to keep people informed about what's important. Most of the time, the MRT shares news on big platforms everyone can see, like the newspaper, at mrt.com and on social media. However, on Thursday, the job of MRT journalists was in a small way for a small dog. Reporters, B.K. Richter Hadorn and Christopher Hadorn, were about to get into their car for what seemed like an unextraordinary day. Then 2 big, teary eyes appeared. "My husband spotted him initially," Richter Hadorn said. "We went to him, he sniffed me, and he let me pick him up." Pressed for time, they quickly looked around for his owners, but there wasn't anyone around. They noticed something on his collar, a ring pet tag. Ring pet tags are a relatively new way to help locate lost pets. Ring invented pet tags to help unite lost pets with their owners. Mimi Swain, Ring's chief marketing officer, told the Reporter Telegram. Each tag has a QR code that, when scanned, brings up the animal's profile, including a name, picture, and way to contact the owner. With a scared, trembling pup in the newsroom, Reporter Telegram staff scanned the QR code and was able to reach his owners, and the paper got to know his name, Bingo. "We named him that because my daughters and I sing the Bingo nursery rhyme every night to help him go to sleep," said Ivory Rodriguez, the 6-month-old Chihuahua's owner. Rodriguez and her daughter Aubrey told the Reporter Telegram that Bingo is a sweet, lovable companion that has brought joy to their family since rescuing him from the streets of Midland a few months ago. "He's a really good dog. He's really comforting," Aubrey said. "He knows when something is wrong, so he'll snuggle with you and be with you, like when you have a bad day at school." Snuggling close and burying himself under blankets aren't Bingo's only interests. Rodriguez said that at her home, every once in a while, if not fully latched, the back door will open when the front door closes. He knows not to go out the back, and he'll give you a look that says, "I'm not going anywhere," she said. And then you look away for 1 minute, and he sneaks out. Given the opportunity to spend the morning at his favorite place among the flowers and butterflies that make the pool at Bingo's apartment complex a lovely oasis, he decided to go for a stroll, but he took a wrong turn toward the parking lot. "Bingo was very scared when we found him," Richter Hadorn said. "He looked at me with his large eyes and was trembling. He had his tail down. This now lost pup clearly wanted help. He let me pick him up without hesitation," Richter Hadorn said. Richter Hadorn. Bingo was a joy to have in the newsroom. Reporters took turns holding him while working on their stories for the day. "When I first saw Bingo, I thought, oh my gosh, we have the cutest intern ever," said reporter Kesley Salinas. "He wasn't a distraction at all. I tried to put him down on my lap, and then Bingo tried his own hand, or paw rather, at writing. He really likes the letter K. Salinas said about the budding pup journalist. He put his paw on the keyboard and accidentally searched Google for No interesting results showed up, but I love that he tried. I also love that doing one search was enough work for him. I put him back on my shoulder, and he took a nap. Bingo's family had quite a morning too. We were about to take my oldest daughter to work, Rodriguez said. He likes to hide under blankets because he gets cold. We didn't remember seeing him when we walked out, Aubrey said. A lot of times he's under the covers. We couldn't find him. I was so worried. And then a text from the MRT came in, telling them Bingo was okay thanks to the ring pet tag. That QR code saved us, thank God, Rodriguez said. When asked how she learned about the product, she said her mother, who is a real estate agent, uses Ring products to help give clients access to properties. The pet tag is relatively new in Ring's lineup. It's only been out for a little over a year, said Swain, the Ring marketing chief. We're so much more than a video doorbell company. We're big believers in the power of community, and we're connected to our mission to keeping people closer to what's important. That includes loved ones like Bingo. Knowing that we helped reunite Bingo with his family is so fulfilling, Swain said. I want to thank Bingo's family for being a Ring neighbor and for trusting us to provide a service that helps keep their pets safe. Bingo's day started with the thrill of adventure, which then turned to fear. He found two strangers who quickly became his friends, and the little Chihuahua from Midland made even more along the way. He spent his time at the MRT in the comforting arms of journalists, and then back into the hands of his loving family, his four little paws never touching the newsroom floor the entirety of his stay. Upon his departure, only gentle pets and kind words from the staff for sweet Bingo, whose tail now wagged high and fast with joy. Often, it's the small acts of kindness that make the biggest impact. They usually go unreported, but they are certainly appreciated. The MRT asks that you go out and help someone today for no other reason than to be kind. When you see the happiness it brings them, you may just find it brings a little bit of joy to your own day. Lost dog survived in deep woods nearly 2 months. She defied the odds. Tim Paul was making an early morning work stop near his home in Park County, Wyoming, and he had his dog Jade with him. When Paul opened his car door, Jade unexpectedly bolted out, fast and far into the wilderness. She got spooked by loud machinery and trucks driving by. Paul gave chase. He chased her for about 3/4 of a mile, and she was gone, said Paul's wife, Laura Wilderman. The two live with their 4 rescue dogs about a half-hour drive from where Jade ran off in Little Buffalo Basin. This area in Wyoming is just deep, deep woods. There isn't anything around, Wilderman said, explaining that she began to panic thinking about Jade on the run in the area, which has roaming grizzly bears, mountain lions, coyotes, and other wild animals. Jade was having a bad reaction to an allergy medication. She had facial swelling and a loss of appetite, and Paul was planning to bring her to the vet as soon as it opened that day, June 4th. After Jade sprinted off, Paul searched the woods for hours, then slept in his truck overnight. When Paul's efforts came up empty, the couple decided to put their lives on hold to search for Jade, a boxer they rescued in 2022. They went looking for her in the woods every day, and Wilderman took a leave from her job as a flight attendant. They took out radio ads, posted all over social media, and put posters up around town offering a $1,500 reward. They hired a scent tracking dog to help sniff her out. The couple was especially concerned given how timid their pup is. Even if someone were able to find her, they said, she probably would not go close enough to a person to be caught. She always was a little skittish, Wilderman said, noting that Jade was a breeding dog, and when they first got her, she wasn't well socialized. If you were eating a meal and dropped a fork on the table, she'd run. We spent every single waking moment trying to find her, said Wilderman, whose phone began to ring with strangers volunteering to help. People in the community joined the rescue effort. Ryan Lawler, a local sheriff's deputy, read about the missing dog on Facebook and offered to use his personal drone to help search for her. He spent 3 of his days off trying to track down Jade. I'm an animal lover, and when something like that happens, I feel bad for the owners, Lawler, 49, said, adding that he has used his drone to help find missing animals a few times in the past. It's just something I like to do. Wilderman and Paul were stunned by the outpouring of support. Those people were rock stars, she said. Still, after several weeks, there was no sign of Jade. "We didn't think we would get her back," said Wilderman. But they finally got a sliver of hope last week when Tobias Kortner, 31, who works at a local ranch, spotted Jade on a trail camera he was monitoring. She was gnawing on an animal carcass. A few days later, he got about 20 feet away from Jade, and as soon as she saw him, she bolted once again. "It's pretty open out here. There's not much of any kind of civilization." "It's random that she happened to show up," said Kortner, who called Wilderman and Paul to let them know their dog was alive and in the area. He had seen posters of Jade in town and recognized her. Knowing exactly where Jade had been, the couple hatched a plan. They put out a large humane trap they borrowed, as well as food, including cat food, because it has a stronger smell than dog food and treats, to lure Jade in. "That's the only way we were going to get her," Wilderman said, adding that they also put out some of their clothes so Jade could smell them and perhaps be comforted. Their plan was temporarily hindered when ranchers dumped a dead cow in the woods. Because the dead animal would attract grizzly bears, posing a major threat to Jade, Wilderman frantically phoned a nearby ranch and they agreed to move the dead animal. On Tuesday morning, exactly 7 weeks after she first ran off, Jade wandered into the trap as they had hoped, and it closed on her. They had her. "I can't believe it's actually her and she survived," Wilderman said between tears. She defied the odds. Despite being disheveled and slightly frail, Jade was quickly back to her usual self. "She just ran upstairs, filthy dirty, jumped in bed, snuggled and had a great meal," said Wilderman. "She has not skipped a beat. She's got a pep in her step." Jade also seemed elated to be reunited with her animal siblings. "Our other dogs were so excited to see her," Wilderman said. "Jade had worms, but other than that, she got a clean bill of health from her vet. Considering what she has been through, she is doing amazing," Wilderman said. "She is resilient, that's for sure." Jade's safe return was a relief for the whole community, especially those who took the time to help find her. "I was very excited," said Lawler. "It's a miracle." Although losing their dog for months was awful, Wilderman said, they are filled with gratitude for their community. "I feel like I have a lot of new friends through this whole process," she said. It also served as a reminder that, even when it seems impossible, happy endings can happen. "It's such an incredible, long-shot story," Wilderman said.